Simon, you are in the conversation with Grimwald as this Latin poem just echoed throughout the place. Grimwald's eyes are kind of watering. He's a little stunned right now. What are you doing?
Does my grip release on the ball?
It does.
So it's not... Okay. Healing powers, you say?
What? Yes. They say, yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, I think that's all that I have questions about.
You see him looking down at the stone and then back up at you. So what do you want for it?
Like I said, I'm not going to part with it now. I may come back in a few days and get rid of it, but right now, I'm going to hang on to it.
As he turns.
No, don't worry. If I will get rid of it here in the next probably week or so. I just am not going to get rid of it right now.
And you see his jaws clenched as you say all that. And he walks back over to the
I'll
book
be back.
that Nord sits down quickly before being seen. All right, the action is on you all. What you doing?
So, just out of curiosity, when I read that and a bunch of other people started reciting it at the same time, did I hear them?
Yes, you did. You get to make a sanity roll, by the way.
That is a D10?
Mm-hmm. D10 and your mind die. Threshold on this will be 2.
1.
You do anything else? To improve those chances, you just keep it.
I'm gonna bid.
So you can bid to activate a power or an ability that might give you successes, or you could do ninja gear. You can do proficiencies. You could also spend a point of breath, but that'd take you to limbo.
I'm actually going to bid prayer.
Okay.
As in, I've said a lot of stuff in Latin before, and sometimes in somewhat heightened emotional states. When I was trying to make it work, so
now prayer is your you're activating the ability, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And since it's a reaction you're doing, you don't have to bid anything for the action. You can just bid to activate. Do you have any upgrades on it?
2.
All right. So that gives you 2 extra successes. That means you're at 3. So you beat the sanity threshold. You don't take a derangement, but you do take a flaw. I'll let you decide what it is. I think something dealing with chanting. You also get to experience something. As the echoing of your and the other people's voices dies down. In the distance, somewhere, you hear a surf. Deep rumbling of water. If you didn't know better, you might think that there was a flood outside, or you were next to the ocean. You half expect actually to walk outside and see somehow a beach there. It's so loud for this moment. Rough waters as it recedes.
I go over to Simon and I say, "Hey, Simon, do you think it's gonna rain today?"
It's been raining on and off all day.
Mariah pops up. Yeah, it kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, old man, can I have this? She says to Grimwald, who does not look impressed. The NPCs are talking. I'm not going to NPC. I'm not going to roleplay with myself.
So I walk outside just to see.
Yep. You do very, very light, just spitting rain. It's cold. It's become dark, so it's like 6:30, 6:45. Winds picked up. It feels foreboding. It feels foreboding out here. The wind's pushing along the water that's pooled up. Yeah, but there is this sense of danger. The sky is dark and gray, and the clouds are moving quickly.
I think the weather's following us.
As you come back in, ding, 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 ding. Grimwald looks down at Mariah, and they've been talking back and forth. For those of you that are standing nearby, could be all of you, could be only one of you, two of you. Essentially, he says, "Oh, that old thing? Sure, $20. As you see Mariah's face kind of falls. "Oh, that's way too much. She'll never go for that."
I'll look down and slide her the 20 from the change.
As she smiles and actually gives Simon a half hug and hands Grimwald $20. As you see, Grimwald seems, his eyes are watering. He seems a little bit out of it. He takes the money and, "Okay, you can have it." And then goes back to the book. As he says, "Israeli lady. I think I found what you're looking for." As he turns his book and slides it to you. "It's just this old cipher that I've been working on for a long time. Strange that your friend would find it too."
So, do you know what it means or anything about it?
No, not really. Not really.
Yeah, I'm gonna, let's see.
He still
I'm
looks
just gonna throw down
nonplussed.
to see.
Go on.
Okay, I'm gonna throw down to see if I can tell that he's lying or not.
Yeah, do it. This would be wits.
Okay, yeah, so that's 3 successes.
Yeah, threshold of 2. He definitely knows way more than he's saying. And since you beat it, since you got a clean success, you can tell he's more just perturbed at Simon. It's like he's kind of taking it out on you. Like his mind isn't really on what he's doing. He's just a curmudgeon. That's what you can tell. I don't really know much about it.
I see. That's unfortunate.
Maybe if your friend, maybe if your friend would be a little more amenable, maybe I could find something.
So Leah will look away for a second, and just sort of look back at him and say, I really don't. I really don't play these kind of games. You either know something or you don't. But it'd be a shame if I had to go back and tell the Annabelle's family that this place wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
As you say the magic words, do you really want to know what this says? This is, as he leans forward and becomes way too serious, this is dangerous stuff. I don't know if you're ready for it.
Compared to what I've seen in the last couple of days, I'm sure it's fine.
What have you seen?
I'll tell you what. You tell me what you know, and I'll tell you what I know.
He looks over at Simon. You really don't know what that is, do you?
Actually, Leah looks over. Do I recognize it?
He's just looking at Simon, who's holding this ball. Just looks like a black, looks like a pool ball, except it's really, really dark. Like so black that it's blue.
No, I do not, but I know it's worth a lot more than what you were going to pay me for it.
It's probably best if you give it up. Fine. Come with me, as he closes his book, hands you back the note, and starts heading back to...
hand me back the note.
The note has been stolen.
Oh, indeed. He looks for the note. Indeed. You both get a pip as he looks for the note. Did you take back that note?
No, I didn't.
He looks around. Well, I didn't take it. I'm many things, but I'm not a thief.
I believe you.
He just sort of narrows his eyes and looks at all of you. Anyway, come to the back and I'll tell you more. His eyes sort of linger on Annabelle and Mariah. The children should stay out here. And he long legs it to the back, goes through the beaded curtain. Shh.
And Leah follows him.
Yep.
Can I do I see them walking away? Can I?
Yeah, you're right there.
Can I palm the note back into Leah's hand and whisper into her ear and say, this guy's an addict. Like, he's doing some crazy shit back there. I'd be careful.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Anyone else going back? Simon follows.
I'll go back.
So everybody leaves Nord in the leisure suit with Mariah and Annabelle.
Yeah. I'll hang out in the store, and I'll probably just be unabashedly go through all his shit at this point.
Yeah, what do you bid to go through his shit? What do you bid to go through his shit?
Snooping.
Yeah, go ahead and throw down.
I want to know more about this guy.
Annabelle goes, they're just gonna leave? It's such an adult thing to do.
I would just let those. They'll be back, hopefully. And if they're back there too long, I'll go get them. But you guys should stay out here. Maybe near the door. Play with the little toys or whatever, I don't think they'll notice.
As you go around the counter and you're snooping around, you find some locked drawers. You try the easy stuff first. Open up a couple, cabinets and are looking through, talking to them. Nord pops down out of sight, pops back up with a bunch of shit, and there's like a little Japanese tea set and all this sort of just different bits and pieces, weird coins. You open up a small cabinet. You find it underneath the jewelry case, kind of tucked away. It's not very big, maybe a foot and a half tall. As you open it up and see there's a bronze or brassy statue inside with candles that are all melted wax and a little altar.
Does it match the other ones, the one in the hut?
No, it's a different figure. The figure is of a serpentine lady.
Yeah.
It's this woman who kind of like chimera almost.
All right. Nord will take a quick photo of that.
You do. As you feel someone behind you, as you're kind of crouched down, you turn, look over your shoulder, and see Mariah's there with some bobby pins, trying to pick the lock of the drawer. And it actually looks kind of like she's been taught how to do it. As she's sitting there like...
Good.
Does anyone want to bid Mariah for success, or do we want to just leave it to the fates?
I would. Can I assist Mariah with quick and dirty?
Absolutely.
My ability, quick and dirty.
All right, so we'll throw down for.
I'm not a lock picking expert, but you know.
Yeah, we'll throw down for. Leah, I'll let you roll it. It's a D10 and a D8. She has D8s on her shit. The shit that she's good at.
Me too.
What'd you get?
So that's at least 2 successes. One was a leaner, so I'm gonna re-roll it.
Yep.
That's also so that's 4 successes total.
And Nord, what aspect do you aid her with?
I will aid her with. I would say that's mind, probably.
Okay. Is that a
D10?
Yeah, so she gets a D10 as well since Nord aided her. Typically with NPCs we don't do it, but a narrative one we can do this.
So that's a total of 6 successes.
She's like, I'm a good teacher.
Yeah. So she can definitely lockpick at this point. Yeah.
Wow.
She is way better at lockpicking than anyone. 6 successes. I was thinking like maybe a threshold of 2 or 3. So she we'll give it we'll say Simon, describe what that looks like to Nord when, because you taught her how to lockpick. How does she do this?
Well, I think it's did you say it was like a cabinet or something? So it's not like it's not a master lock. It's a small, it has less pins. So it's a little bit easier. It's what you would start out on. But having seen me do a hard lock, she's like, because it's an easier lock. So it's on her skill level.
That's
and
right.
so she's like,
and it just turns the drawer. She turns the chamber or the plug, and as she's doing that, she's looking at you in slow-mo like, oh,
and she's like,
I did it.
See, the impressive thing is getting the right torsion on it without breaking the bobby pin. That's important. That's impressive.
That's right.
Before
Not that I know anything about that.
Before she opens the door, I don't let her open it all the way. I'm gonna suggest that sometimes that they trap locks, and maybe that she should stand back and let me open it for her.
I got this, not you. You trying to steal it?
No. If you just stand back, sometimes they make big, booms and stuff like that can hurt you.
She looks at you like just not impressed. Fine, you can open it. She folds her hand or her arms.
Take a couple of steps back. As soon as I open it and we don't explode.
Yep. She steps
then
back.
You can come back and look. All right, I'm gonna get is there a pole around me or something that I can just pull this?
One of those little grabber things.
Yeah. Nord is a very ridiculous human. Is there any place that Nord can jump behind really fast?
Yeah, you could jump over the jewelry case.
Well, it just sort of, is it a door that pulls out or opens?
Yeah, it pulls out this way.
All right, so Nord's just gonna get really low, and then pull it out.
As you slowly pull it out,
listening for any clicks or anything.
You hear this clunk, clunk, clunk. As Mariah's looking at there, just what is it? as you
Uh,
you pull the cabinet out or pull the drawer out.
I don't know. What is it? Let's look in it.
As you look in there, you see several papers, of course. You see a small knife that looks very sharp. It's about a small grip, 3 or 4 inches, like a little dirk, like a small dirk, I should say. And it's sitting on top of a book.
What's the
strange looking book.
Oh.
A book that indeed. A book that it's hard to know what the cover's made of. It's not like stretched in human skin or anything, but the cover, the material just, it doesn't look, maybe it's synthetic. It looks like it's soft and supple. Yeah, you've never seen this material before. It's kind of a tan, like a beige or something. At any rate, impressed into whatever this funky leather is, it looks almost as though it's like an abstract person whose face is radiating light, and they're on their knees. There's trinkets and stuff all around them, and that's the cover of the book. It's maybe 100 pages or so.
Wow.
And of course, there's glyphs on it.
Is it sealed shut, or is it can a person open it?
It is sealed with a tiny lock.
Oh shit. All right. Are there any runes on the knife?
Not that you see immediately.
Mariah, you should not steal.
Life lessons with Nord.
I think we should take this, but for scientific purposes.
Wouldn't that be stealing?
Not if we're gonna give it back.
She comes over and just grabs it.
No. We should put
You
it
see
in
her like
something.
not listening. She's like unlocking the fucking lock.
Nope. And I'll just like, this is a very expensive book.
I can get it.
I know you can get it. It's not about unlocking. Maybe we leave it locked. We need to understand it.
Or do you bid to make her stop?
I'll just hold. Oh my god. I would like to bid counterpoint.
Yep.
And just say, how mommy's been acting weird and stuff. One of the things that we're trying to do is make it so people don't act so weird all the time. And
why are you talking to me like that?
I don't know. It's just the way that people talk to kids. I don't know.
Yeah, but they out of nowhere, you just talk to us like we're stupid.
But all I'm saying is we got to approach this with some method.
Fine. And she hands you the book. In the back, you all walk through the beaded curtain. Nord wasn't lying. You smell a chemical smell. Smells like the fuel that Bunsen burners burn. I don't know if that's a natural gas or ethanol or what it is. Kerosene, maybe. The back here is immaculately disorganized. There's clothes all over the place. It almost seems kind of like Nord. There's a path that's been walked to the storeroom, which is closed and looks like it has a deadbolt on it. And then all the way to the back to this almost like laundry room looking place that you haven't gotten to yet. The light is this fluorescent light that flickers. And on the way there, there's just sort of detritus. Not trash, but old clothes that have been thrown down. Stacks of books just all over the place. These haven't been kept so well. They're not really for display. A lot of them are damaged. So you see the storeroom, this kind of just junk room that you walk through, a little bit of a winding path. There's dust everywhere except for where the path is. Some bunny slippers over there that look like they're ancient. And you're walking towards this back room where the bubbling is getting louder. Grimwald is ahead of you, Leah. He's walking rather quickly. You notice with his long legs and stuff, and just his stride, he does walk quickly. He's good 10, 15 feet ahead. As he gets to the door and turns, "Oh, you're all coming. Grand." And he walks in. "Well, come on, don't bump into anything." And you see him go around the corner. The room opens up. It's like the hallway walks into it, and it's the room is perpendicular to the hallway, so you can go left or right. He goes to the left. So think of a mud room or like just a really dingy kitchen.
All right, go in after him.
Mm-hmm.
So you all go in.
Yep.
To your right, you notice, oddly enough, the room continues. There's a small doorway. It's just left ajar. You see a living area, maybe just the edge of a bed. A lamp's on. The TV is on, but it's muted, and it's static. That's just through the door, which is ajar. Right there will be, the washer dryer unit, and then to the left, where Grimwald actually went, a little tiny stove range with 2 or 3 pots on it that are bubbling. And beyond that, as the room extends, a makeshift workbench made of 2x4s. He probably made it. The nails are all jagged and all over the place. But on top of this, a straight up chemistry set that lines the entire wall. Big fucking beakers, Bunsen burners and shit. There's a hood that's just on, so you hear the woo of that happening. Pulling out most of the chemical smell and fumes. It looks like an alchemist's lab. Reds and blues and yellows and all manner of whatever.
I would like to throw down as my being a detective to see if I know what these drugs are that he's making.
Sure.
Would that be mined? Because or would that be...
Well, if you're going to bid, then you would need to throw down. If you're just going to throw down instead without bidding, remember, you can only get one success on every die. That's the one success.
I think it's also, I want to aid him by bidding border guard because I've seen,
So you can absolutely bid throw down without bidding. But to do that, unless it's a bid or throwdown, meaning if the threshold is above 0, then you're going at detriment. Because the whole idea is you have to bid. You only throw down if it's necessary, and it would be necessary. It's up to you.
Well, because I think I just want to throw down because I'm kind of vested, but I'm not.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly why you wouldn't. That's good.
Okay.
So it would be mined.
Mined. Okay.
You can still get flair, but you can only get 1 success on a die.
Right.
And then, of course, your abilities can give you more than that.
And what did you give me, Hulker?
Border guard, because that's kind of what I do.
What aspect did you give me?
Oh, aspect? That would be probably wits, which would be a D8.
D8. Okay. 2 successes.
All right. So you are at limbo.
Okay. I'm okay with that because I...
So this is what you gather. Probably illicit drugs. Definitely not FDA approved.
Yeah.
You don't know what they are. Maybe you've heard a few names. These are not hallucinogens or like, it's not like meth or crack or something like that. That's not what he's making. You know that well enough. It's almost botanical, but they would have properties that, could possibly get him into trouble.
Okay.
A few things. You see some of the ingredients. Bat wings, hair, nail clippings. There's a jar, this big mason jar full of different bugs that are dried. All sorts of teas. A few vials that look like they've been lifted out of a centrifuge. So like blood vials. And you've heard a couple names. One is Life Wine, one is Cat Sense, and one is Quart. You don't know what these things do. As far as you know, they're hooba juba chemicals, snake oils, and probably uppers.
What was the last one?
Quart. Queert.
ERT. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, this is the kind of guy that like sacrifices turkeys
Yeah.
for some reason. As he walks back, and it's got like the black light is just back here because that happens. And he turns around and will sit down at this workbench. Sits down his book and starts getting some stuff out. Okay, have a seat anywhere. You notice there's only like 2 chairs.
Leah will sit down. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. What?
Oh, I was just gonna say I was gonna lean up a bit by the stove.
I'll
So,
sit down.
so you want to know what the hieroglyphics mean?
Really,
Is that
just
what you
anything
want?
you know about them.
I know a bit. Do you know anything of the Sumerian gods?
Only vaguely.
Well, there are quite a number. 7 of the most powerful, though. They say there's an
The only
8th.
the one I've heard probably the most is Ishtar.
Yes, Ishtar. Well, we won't be talking about her. Have you heard of Inanna?
Mm.
She's the queen of heaven. That's what they used to call her anyway. At any rate, the relics, as you see him, like, he puts on these gloves, big scientific gloves, and he's, some protective goggles, and he's mixing something into a little beaker as he talks. They say that Inanna is what caused a great schism in the deep. He's chemicaling. You see some fumes come
deep.
up. Don't think of it so much as water. Think of it more like the void.
Hmm.
At any rate, those runes, they talk of different stories of these gods, specifically of betrayal and Inanna's family. You may have heard of, as he kind of, says over his shoulder, Erishkagel.
I don't think that's how you say it.
How would you say it? He stops and looks at you sternly.
Ereshkagel.
Right. Well, she was the queen of the great earth, or so the Sumerians said. And her younger sister was Inanna, the queen of heaven. He kind of smiles as he suddenly takes a little sip of what he's concocted from all these little things. A drop here, a drop there. He closes his eye and a shiver goes down his spine.
So what I gave you is a story about these gods?
He opens his eyes. His eyes are like dilated immediately and bloodshot. As he looks over at you, looking rather otherworldly. Pale skin. You guys doing anything, or are you just watching him and waiting?
I'm going to put my hand in my pocket on my slapjack.
You know, Inanna attempted to usurp Erishkagel. See, she went down to the underworld. She was the queen of the Great Earth and wanted to be further away from the great queen of heaven. But in her absence, Inanna betrayed her sister. Do you know what the price of betrayal is? His eyes are almost like growing, like bigger, as the dilation just...
I don't know, death?
Of the worst kind, but gods can't die. They only go to sleep.
So what, torture?
They say he kind of stops and turns back and sets the vial down, and he gets a larger one, uncorks it, and it's got a clear liquid, and he starts making something else.
Do they get deported?
No. Inanna was captured by the other gods because they're always in league with one another. And she was set upon a spike for a long time. You see some fumes come out. You notice that he doesn't sniff this one. At any rate,
I see.
he turns and he's sitting there holding this. At any rate, essentially that's what those runes begin to talk about. I, after many years, many decades, have only but translated a few of them. It's not fair that you would get an entire vision so easily. And he throws the potion on the ground. As he does, loads of smoke just fill the room.
We just hit an ad break.
Good. Let's take a break ourselves. We'll break for 10 minutes. Yeah. Use the bathroom and do this last scene with you guys and with Nord and the girls outside. Okay. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Can we put up something in the chat that says we'll be back at 10:15 or whatever?
10:15.
All right. I'll see you guys in a second. no fly, you say doomy doom doom. Yeah, thank you, Vanquished, for following. When you follow, it should have a little sound bite that plays. I guess I would ask the chat, is that so? If there's anyone in the chat to answer. All right. It should be like, hey, motherfucker. That's the sound bite. It's funny. Okay. So we're still in the dread, of course. Now, I've said it the last 2 or 3 sessions, but I'm not going to prompt stuff. I'm going to try to wean you guys off me prompting, right? So if you have questions and stuff, go ahead and ask them, just as players. I'm going to try and not prompt you for things. Grimwald, in a moment, you know, like when your eyes see it happen, but like your reaction just hasn't gotten there yet? Maybe even you hear Simon, like his butt cheeks clench, whatever it is, or say, ah, shit, as Grimwald raises the potion up and throws it on the ground.
So can I, or since this is currently happening and not already happened, can I spend one of my narrative points to say that as I see him go to drop it, I grab one of those bowling pots beside me and toss it at him?
No, narrative
Okay.
point wouldn't do that. However, because that's an action, what a narrative point would do would be like, hey, could I change the situation a little bit? If you want to take an action, you would drop cunning.
Well,
because
yeah.
a point of cunning allows you to go with or before the antagonist.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure that we were going into. Then yes, then I'm gonna do cunning.
Yeah. Anytime
I'm
the world,
spending cunning.
right on. Anytime, not the world, but anytime the thing that is antagonizing you, it always goes first. Technically, the world goes first, then the thing that antagonizes you. If you want to go with it or attempt to go before it, cunning.
Yeah,
so
I'm
yes,
definitely
very good sense. Anyone else spend cunning?
I don't believe I will. I'm not there.
We'll get to you. You can, despite being in a different place and not knowing, you could spend cunning to go in the cunning round.
I feel like
I will spend cunning to get my flashlight out.
Okay. We'll announce the actions in a second.
Oh, sorry.
So, no, it's all good. So world action's gone. You two are gonna do it. Leah, are you gonna hang out? Or are you gonna wait for the player turn?
I'll wait for the player turn.
Okay. Just to reiterate what it is, world action goes first, which it has gone. Then the cunning turn, which you guys may or may not go in. Depends on if you spend cunning. Then the bad guys, then the players. Okay. Outside world action. So this is for Nord and the Mariah and Annabelle. Two things could happen here. Let's do a fate roll. Fortune or false fortune? Who wants to do what? It affects you all, so anyone can do this.
I'll do fortune.
All right. Who's doing false?
I'll do false fortune.
Sweet. I love it when you do false fortune.
We always have so much luck with that.
All right. So, if fortune occurs, Nord, you hear those police cars again. Actually, more police cars actually go by. And someone walks in the store, the bookstore, that is beneficial to your situation. I don't want to give you too much information about this. False fortune. Those cop cars come by and they stop. outside, seeing your van. So, make your roll. Simon is not happy.
62.
72.
Damn. I'll drop I'll use my proficiencies.
That's a Hulker false fortune roll.
False Fortune by Holger. All right. Leah drops a proficiency, so you guys re-roll it.
I am going to roll the really small dice this time around.
Good, do it. Look at that little tiny die. Roll them. What'd you get?
35.
51.
Damn.
Woo, 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 woo. There's another there's a second cop car.
One more quit.
Oh shit, it might be a third.
Dang.
Alright, one last time.
One more time. Alright, what'd you get? D100s are hard.
Double mirror 0 is just like in the 10s, right?
Double 0 is a 10. Did you get zeros on both dice?
No. I got a double 0 and then a 2, so I got a 2.
I thought a double zero. No, a double.
Yeah.
I got a 30.
Yeah, zero's a not. Zero is nothing.
No, it is. It's yeah.
So you rolled a 2.
Yeah.
I did roll a 2.
All right, you guys got any more proficiencies?
Woo!
I thought we could only
I
do
think
it 3 times. Or can we do it more than
Yeah, you can do it as many as I let you.
Oh, okay.
3 is, for big things, usually 3 is the most.
Hmm.
I mean, this could be big. The
Sure.
Red Writ in jail. All right, I'm going to give you 3 seconds. Are you guys going to drop another proficiency or no?
Yeah, I'll drop one.
All right, do it. Roll.
One more time.
Andrea warming up the dice. Didn't warm them up enough. What'd you get?
20?
54.
Holger
Oh, no.
rolls hard, dude. He's got the juju on the dice.
Yeah.
Any more?
You guys are using all your rerolls.
What you doing? 3.
All right, I will drop one more.
All right. Doing it one more time.
One
You know
more.
this is all your fault, Holder. Okay. You guys keep on letting him roll false fortune. I don't understand.
I warned.
He usually
He's so good.
loses that.
Uh-oh. What'd you get?
41?
93.
Nice. Nice.
All right.
Looks like Nord's going to jail.
Nord, you see 3 cop cars pull up. One actually hits the front of your car, ting, and the front bumper like kind of pops off a little bit.
Ouch.
And you hear them. You hear dong dong dong. Get out of the van! Get out of the floor!
Ouch.
All right, this is the world action. Nord, are you gonna drop cunning?
Yeah, I'll drop cunning.
Good. All right. So we're in the cunning round. What are you guys doing?
Since
You see
my
Grimwald raising this up, and he's got this maniacal a smile, like, haha, I got you.
Well, my hand was already on my slapjack,
Yep.
so I'm going to pull it out and hit him with it.
You Simon, you pull out your slapjack. What are you going to bid to do this?
I'm gonna bid bad cop.
Awesome. As Simon, you pull out your slapjack. There's those that work table and all sorts of manners of things to run into here.
Well, I thought I was opposite him because
you
wasn't
are.
it the
Yeah,
wasn't it the
you
work
are.
table? I'm over by the stove.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he's next to a work table, literally loaded down with, a chemistry set.
Yeah.
Like out of like a comic book.
Yeah.
And that's to your left. To your right is boiling water and something else on the range. And it's not an entirely cramped place, but it's not wide either. Like a little shotgun kitchen. And you got people in front of you. So
kind of like a trailer.
Yeah, like a trailer. So as you run up to slap him in the head with your slapjack, as he's holding high, like way too high, like, ha, I got you, this potion that's fuming. You bid bad cop. Go ahead and throw down. He's not in a position to really react. So it's just going to be his bow def, which I believe is threshold of 1.
So that is aspect, my brawn, and then my slapjack.
Correct. Now I'm going to say this: to hit him, it's only a threshold 1. To hit him and not knock a bunch of shit over, and or get hit by this potion that he's probably going to drop, we're going to say it's threshold 3.
Okay.
So you were likely going to hit him. It's just, is it going to go bad?
Okay, so I've got a 3 right now.
Nice. Limbo's good. I'll give you a chaos die on top of that.
Okay.
Just because I'm a dick.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of shit going. Yep, that's a 1 on the chaos die.
You can do proficiencies.
Or
if you have that awesome ability that Nord has, you can turn it into a normal failure.
No. Let me see here. I'll re-roll. I'll use violence to re-roll the chaos die.
That is a smart thing to do, I think.
Oh, and that gives me another success. So that puts me at 4 successes.
So, clean success. Simon, describe how this goes down. And it doesn't go down badly.
I see him raise it up and that look in his eye, and I'm like, I already have my hand in my pocket. So out comes the slapjack, and it's like, wha-pow! And I hit him right in the sweet spot in the back of the head. And
and why doesn't he drop his shit or bust into the table?
Well, which hand was he?
His left.
He was doing it with his left, so I go wha-pow, and I grab the potion as it's coming down because I'm using. Yeah.
I love it. All right, you beat it by 1. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Damage is.
And you get that extra success
1d
because you beat it by 1.
Oh, that's 5. I rolled a 4 on the die.
Plus 1 plus 1.
Oh, so
your damage is a D4 plus 1, right? Or is it a D4?
Not on the slapjack. Slapjack is just a D4.
So 5. As you hit him, he has so much vitality. As you slap him on the back of the head, he's probably blind momentarily. As you just hit him in like the occipital lobe, he's like, ugh! And makes this face. Ugh! As you grab the potion, Grimwald is absolutely dazed. As he kind of stands up, half looking at you, sputters some foam from his mouth, and then sits right back down in the chair, dazed for the moment. As Simon just clocks the shit out of this old man. All right, who else spent cunning?
I did.
All right. We'll go Nord first. Nord, you hear, get out of the van! Get out now! Who's the van registered under?
Well, one of my aliases, I'm sure. I mean, it doesn't.
What's the alias?
I don't know.
Because I know that you said it
Grim.
before. We just need to make sure we know what it is.
No, okay, sure. Well, Greg, Silver.
Yep. Greg Silver, get on the ground! We're warning you. What do you do?
I get Mariah and
Mariah's
Annabelle.
like, who's Greg Silver?
I mean,
Annabelle's
I'm not
looking
really
out the window. She's like,
I'm not.
dude, there are so many cops outside.
I know, and I think what's important is that we portray a status of like we all belong here. So I am the shop owner. If you can
Annabelle
get with me
turns.
on this.
What? Mariah goes,
Let's just pretend. Let's do a little pretend like I am the shop owner's brother, and he's
I'll
in
be
the
your
back.
little wizard person. And she's
And
like
you could
holding
be-
this. This
And you can be my
wand.
wizard. And we all saw Greg, or we don't know who Greg is, but we all saw this like homeless looking guy just run down the road. And
Annabelle
he was
goes,
screaming.
homeless.
If they, homeless. If they come in, you know, and if you see any coming to the door, and please, you know, let's just act like we're normally, like we're scared, like we should be, because the homeless guy ran down the street.
What do you bid to make this, to hatch this plan and get the girls involved?
I'm gonna bid
To get the minors involved in this.
and involved with my story. That
Yeah.
what about disguise?
Okay.
Like,
Sure. Yeah, because you are disguised.
Yeah.
Yep, why not? All right, that's what you're doing. And we will throw down as appropriate in the event it comes to it. All right, Tony, you've spent cunning. What are you doing?
I break out my flashlight
Yes, you do.
and I'm ready to hit anything that tries to hit me.
So you have your flashlight out. You notice that Grimwald is kind of stunned, like I described. You hear sirens, police sirens, just kind of distant. You know, it's muffled since you have the distance and all the beads and
the walls.
books and walls and stuff. But it does seem like the police may be outside. Simon has just clubbed Grimwald. You got your flashlight. It's still the action's still on you.
Yeah. I club Grimwald with a flashlight.
All right, you run up next to past Leah, next to Simon. You see him break up this mag light. What do you bid?
I will bid
Simon's happy about it.
I will bid hardened.
Yep, throw down. As Simon and Leah, you just see something snap in the border guard. You hear in the distance, ah! Ah!
One success.
All right. His bow def is 1, but this is the second time he's been attacked in a round, and he doesn't have Iron Guard, so the threshold increases every time you're attacked. So his bow def is 0. So with 1 success, you do hit, and it is not limbo. Roll the damage. And what is your damage on this?
Since it is a flashlight, I'm not sure. I've never actually attacked with a flashlight before.
Is this indeed? Is this a mag light, or is it just like a little handheld torch?
It's more like a handheld.
Okay, so it'll be a light weapon, so it's a D4,
Yeah.
and you'll get a
Right.
+1 since you beat it by 1.
3 total.
All right, whack! He hits. as he hits Grimwald like right here in the orbital like socket. Blood spews forth. You say 3?
Yeah.
Hilarious. As he only has 8 vitality, you smack him in the head with this metal 1980s flashlight.
Baseball bat with a flashlight.
As it sounds like metal hitting bone. And he knocks off his headphones. As Grimwald just goes endos, like back in the seat, feet up. One of his shoes flies off, like over Leah's shoulder. And he is absolutely knocked unconscious and bleeding on the ground in front of you, Simon.
I look at Simon and I say,
Well, now what's he going to do? He can't tell us anything.
but he can't kill us either.
Nord.
First rule of interrogation, you never go for the head.
Nord, you hear of your van's window breaking. Get out of the car! As the bad guys are going. He's not in here. Fan out. Because, you know, that's something police say. And of course, we'll see if they come in the store right now. Let's do a D12. Who wants to roll this? We'll say
I'll
not
roll it.
Nord, since he's immediately going to deal with the consequences. All right, Nord, high or low?
Low.
All right, do it.
It is a 3, so it's low.
All right. As you can't see them because the windows are obscured, but you see their shadows. Yeah, because there's lights on. They're flashing lights and shit. You see them running down the street and such, not immediately thinking to come into the Oddities shop. All right, that's the antagonist. Player's turn. What are y'all doing? Well, we'll start with Nord. Nord, what are you doing? As Annabelle's at the window, they're not coming in. They're like, where do they think you went?
How
Isn't
many
this like
are
the-
there over there? It's
I
not me.
think there were
That's
2 to a
not- I don't
car.
know whose van that is. We
There's
don't
about
know
6.
whose van.
There
Oh
are
my
6
goodness,
cops.
that's a
One's
lot.
in there. He's how much clothes do you have? She looks.
I mean,
they're just throwing it down
never-
on the ground.
That's just wrong.
Oh no. Did you have a bunch of photography stuff?
I did have some.
And she just kind of like winces at you.
Oh,
There's a
it's
couple of them like just raiding your van.
Yeah,
One is
That
grasping at his
sucks.
eyes.
grasping
Oh, it looks
at his eye.
bad.
Well,
As you hear,
know,
it's in my eyes! Ah!
You don't-
Officer down!
one of the reasons why you don't open drawers, that you don't know what's in the drawer, is exactly that. I mean, this is a learning experience, Mariah.
Mariah's like,
all
oh, look at the blood.
we need to know is that whoever owned that van, it's not me. I don't know who that person is, but we did see them running down the street just in case a police officer comes in to the store.
Annabelle says, so there's one that's helping the guy with I guess burns. There's a couple standing around and a couple went down the street either direction. What are we gonna do? I can't get in trouble with the cops again.
Well, you know what? If you play it cool, we just stick to our story. The owner of the business, I'm the new manager of this bookstore.
Mariah looks up. Yeah, but what about that Grimes guy? What if he comes back?
I'm sure he'll be back. And
You want me to go warn the others?
No, I think we all just kind of stay here. I definitely don't think you should be going back there. We'll deal with that when it happens. Everything has its time. We just got to keep our story simple, and just if
Mariah
if they
just
have
kind
any
of cocks her head
questions-
at you. You talk too much.
I do talk a lot. That is a true. I mean, when you're a writer, and you tell stories.
I'm gonna go
for
tell my
living.
mom, and she turns and
No,
starts
wait,
to go to
hold
the
on.
back.
Stop.
Do you
Wait,
bid
hold
to
on,
make her
just-
stop?
I do bid to make her stop.
This would
I
be
will
the
bid,
narrative NPC.
I will bid. I will bid a child of the world, which is a ranger ability.
Yep.
That I can deal
So
with
what
a
do you-
kid if
What
I
do you actually
really.
say to make her stop? And she's like, I'm
I-
gonna go tell my mom.
Your mom is back there with those guys, and she's totally safe. So what we need to do is just be here for the moment. I know this is hard to do, but if you're gonna be a really good detective, like I know you want to be,
She turns and her interest peaked.
you gotta play the game so it doesn't happen fast. Sometimes things happen a little bit slow. You can't just give away your hand.
She takes the wand and stuffs it down her pants and goes, okay, let's do this. I'm gonna be a
Yes.
clerk. And she goes around and starts picking up books, and they're like upside down, and she's like putting them, in the wrong spots.
These are amazing. You're doing such a good job.
All right, back in the kitchen. Grimwald is bleeding. He kind of like foams at the mouth, and he's unconscious. What are you all doing? Leah, yep.
Leah, I'm gonna bid seasoned to say I know what smelling salts looks like, and I'm gonna look around to see if he has any in his in this workshop or whatever.
As you start looking in cabinets and stuff for smelling salts, what about the other two? Toni and Simon.
I know that he looks very bad off. So I'm gonna bid.
He looks hurt.
Yeah.
Not necessarily dying. Like he's not gonna die on the floor right now, but he is kind of old.
I'm
He got hit in the head twice.
I'm gonna bid cop to stabilize him. Is that a thing? Or I can't.
How are you gonna
do we
stabilize him?
in here? I've seen people with head traumas and stuff like that being a cop. I've been there to where I've been in a situation where like I've had to come up, and so I'm gonna look and find a quick rag somewhere, because there's probably one around here, and to put it up against the spot where he's bleeding. Put pressure on it, keep him elevated, and in all honesty, I'm gonna
So you're gonna pick him up in the chair or leave him on the ground?
Well, no, or I'll pick him up.
Because he's still in the chair. He's just toppled over with his feet up.
Well, I'm gonna pick up the chair, and get him back elevated and stuff, so that way I can hold the compress on him, so he's not like in a bad.
You can tell he's
position.
not unconscious as you pick him up in the chair, but he would fall, like he couldn't walk. He's completely
Right.
out of it.
Right.
As you start looking around for a rag, you notice Leah. As you turn, you see she's going through cabinets and such. And Leah, you do find, because he's an apothecary, you find all manner of different drugs. You find smelling salts of every kind, other potent things, drugs that are just labeled everywhere, cocaine, or like a bag of it, all kinds of different bits and pieces. Pretty much anything you want to find, you could find here.
Okay.
As
so at
Simon
that
is
point, I'll grab.
grabbing a rag and putting it on his head.
Hey.
So first, I'll grab the smelling salts. Then I'm sure there'll probably be some alcohol somewhere close by. So I'll grab that as well to hand it to Simon and say, "Here, put that on the rag."
Okay, and I will. Yeah. To
Toni,
put
meanwhile,
alcohol on them.
what are you doing? As they're trying to save this dude.
I'm
You hit him again. Okay.
He stabs him. He marauds him.
I go outside to see if anyone
Toni
else-
leaves.
to see if Yeah.
All right. As you guys turn around, you notice Tony. You just see the door like as he fucking goes straight out. Are you gonna stay in that mud room and look around? There's the storeroom. There's all those other books, and then there's also the front of the house.
I'm gonna go out and look at some of the other, look out into the storeroom.
And there's the bedroom as well. There's the bedroom, which is okay. You go into the store. You see Nord behind the counter, standing there, like hands on his hips, arguing with the girls as that scene just played out, and Mariah does what I said she does. As Nord turns around, you both see each other. The action is still on pretty much all of you.
So Leah will go up to the group or
Grimwald.
the owner and Grimwald, and put the smelling salts under his nose and see if he gets back to coherence.
Okay, fate roll. If I wanted it to be a dick, I would say it would be Holker and Nord. We're gonna say Nord, and who wants Simon or Tony? Who wants to roll the other one? All right, Nord's fortune. Who's false?
Is it D20?
I'll be false.
No.
Okay, all right.
All right, no, there's
D20?
no D20 in this.
I was gonna say.
We don't use them D20s.
Well, I was gonna say, like that didn't.
It'd be a
make any-
D100.
I thought you said D20 for some reason. I was like, it didn't make sense.
It'd be a D100. Okay, so don't roll yet. I got to tell you the stakes. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so who's fortune? Who's false fortune?
I'm
You
false.
gotta know the stakes first. Huh?
I said I
I'm
was
false.
fortune.
Fortune, false fortune. All right, here are the stakes. False fortune. I think it's pretty obvious. Grimwald has a fucking stroke and dies. Because, all this happens and you give him a start. And he's like, "Ugh," and just is dead. That's false fortune. Fortune is he wakes up, he still needs medical attention, but he's not in dire straits. Like he's not going to die right here. I mean, later on, perhaps, of injuries, but you stabilize
Everybody
him.
dies. Everybody dies.
Unless mitigating circumstances, he's injured. That's fortune. False fortune, he fucking dies right now. It's like when, Captain Picard or whatever is like, wake him up. All right, make your roll.
The first roll I had was better than the second roll.
Well, next time, wait for the stakes.
Well, this was a 74.
I so hulkered this. This is an 83.
Oh.
Alright.
Do we proficiency
gonna-
this?
I'm gonna, skullduggery.
All right, do it.
Oh,
Do it.
wow. Well, it's not as good.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This one's a 49 on my end.
It's a 63.
There
All
you
right.
go.
As you administer the smelling salts, and for a moment he comes to, then he almost goes out and blood trickles down. You're like, oh no! But he wakes up. Who are you all? He's looking at you with his super dilated eyes and just out of it. Who are you? Why are you in my back room?
Why, don't you remember you brought us back here?
Oh yeah. Right. Did you want some
You were going to tell us
potions?
all you know, remember? We were having a big powwow.
What do you bid?
I'm gonna bid, unscathed.
And how does this apply to what you're trying to get?
Because he didn't get his thing off on us, so, he's pretty out of it.
Fair enough. As he goes, oh yeah, Well, since I was a young boy, I've always wanted to know magic. And I went to my first magician's show. And he starts going on about how much he loves tricks and magic and, you know, how he got into being apothecary, and he's taking a lot of time doing it.
Okay, yes. I really love hearing about all that, but what we were going to discuss was about this text that you had been studying for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Right. So I don't really know much about it, honestly. But I believe it unlocks the potion of youth, immortality. As he just kind of looks at you. And I'm so close. Let me show you. As he walks over to what he's cooking. It's not quite ready yet. But this is life wine. See? And when I mix it with that, at the equinox, I think I'll make some of the potion of youth. And I think she might teach me real magic. As he looks at you like you don't actually know where he's looking.
Wow, you've been working really hard. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
What was this potion?
Oh, that would have rendered you paralyzed. I didn't really know what I was gonna do. I was thinking I would call Levon, and maybe they could use you.
Well, that wouldn't have been very nice. I mean, we already told you we were her friends.
Yeah.
She would have been very mad at you doing that.
Use us how?
He leans up against the stove and burns himself, but doesn't react. He kind of just looks at the burn. Well, I don't really know what they do, but people go missing all the time. Like that one girl.
Gabby?
He just kind of looks over at you. Oh, maybe.
Leah will, very lightly put her hand on his shoulder and say, "Wow, do you know about that?"
She came by, looking for things. And I gave her some stuff. As he starts looking at his hand, and it's like this gnarly burn. Like it's like a 2nd-degree burn. Because he just... But he just doesn't seem to feel it. As he kind of is peeling at the skin, playing with it, not understanding.
Let's get you sitting back down.
Yeah. I think I burned myself.
Yeah, that looks like it hurts a little bit. I think you should go take a nap. I think a nap would help a lot.
Oh, yeah. As he kind of stands back up from the seat and goes to his room. I'm just going to take a nap. As he opens it and disappears in his room, and you hear him on the springs of his bed. Both of you note the television that's on still. It's on mute. Blipping wildly. As you see scrolled across it, some of the Red Writ.
Well, that's creepy.
There were sirens out front. Let's go see what's happening there. We may need to find a back way out.
Outside.
All right. Do you want?
Go on.
Oh. I was gonna say, do you want me to turn off all this stuff in here?
They would be going anyway.
Outside,
yeah,
Nord and Toni. A cop comes in. Ding, ding, ding. He looks sweaty like he's been running. Who's the proprietor of this business?
Oh.
He looks around as you see out of nowhere from an aisle, Mariah pop out. I am.
She indeed is. This is our establishment. Can I help you, officer?
As he just looks at her. Right.
She's the big boss. She's the big boss around here. Something's gotten her all excited.
I'm sure
outside,
she is. He
though.
pats her on the head, and as he passes by, she just looks at him like. As he comes up to you, leisure suit. Do you know who owns the van outside?
There's a van outside?
Yeah. So the person didn't come in here. He's very scrutinizing as he looks over at you, Toni.
I did see the girls were saying something about some weird homeless-looking guy running down the street.
He turns. You notice Annabelle's gone.
Well, I've got a couple of girls. This is a big place, you know. They come and go.
What do you bid?
I will bid.
Oh no, you already did. You already did disguise. We will throw down for
disguise.
this. Yeah, you already did this. So go ahead and throw down to sway this copper popper.
And
you're gonna
this
have
would
to
be
do.
mine.
You're gonna have to do threshold of 3.
Okay.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Do I need
wits
to
would be
explain
like.
why?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's either one would work.
Okay. Well, I would like to use my mind.
All right.
My mind's
so
eye.
you got a
Because
strategy
I've been thinking
in
about
mind.
this. I got this whole.
Yeah,
I got this
you got the
whole
strategy
I got this
Alright, do
whole
it.
story.
Yep. Toni, you're seeing all this happen. Leah and Simon, you're starting to come out. You notice that Tony's at the foot of the short stairway. He's stopped watching something, and you hear voices. This gruff male voice.
Having heard something, I'll stop Leah.
Nord.
That's only 2 successes. Can I do anything other than proficiencies?
Yeah, you got abilities and or ninja gear.
Can I add my because I've been in and had many conversations with police, my vagabond trait? Or does it need to
activate,
be an ability?
Yeah, it need to be an ability.
Oh, okay.
It'd have to be an ability that does something or that has upgrades to give you successes.
Well, I could do when plans go awry, because that is... I didn't get a failure, but it is... Was that a limbo or a failure? 2 successes.
That's a failure.
You have...
so I could do when plans go awry to go to limbo.
What about your...
Yeah.
Because you have you have your suit on, right? Have you bid your
I'll bid
suit?
my suit.
Yeah.
All right.
My suit.
The suit, we'll have, it's a nice suit. So it's, it'll have a trait already. You know, everything that came out of the 70s has at least one trait.
Yeah.
So what is the trait that this leisure suit has?
It's got swagger.
All right, so it's got some swagger to it, meaning you get an extra die, so a D6.
But he's, he's just super chill.
Yeah.
And that is an additional success.
All right, so you were at limbo. Plans go awry, what we'll do is we'll say that limbo is a positive thing. It's still a yes, but we'll call it a yes and. As the cop, you can see that the and part is he doesn't really want to listen to you. He's in a hurry. Which means he's kind of overlooking things. As he goes, yeah, okay. Well, homeless guy, you say? That sounds like Greg. If you see that man come back in here, you let me know.
I won't let him in, but I'll call you immediately. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Here's my card.
Oh, thank you, sir. Should I lock the door? Is he dangerous?
No. If he comes in, don't act strange. Keep him here.
Okay, will do. Thank you. Thank you for your service. You know,
he just kind of looks at you for a second.
I pay into the union every year.
Yeah, great.
I mean, I'm a strong supporter of the police. It's people like you that keep this world going.
You see on the card, it just says Detective Thomas. As he leaves, nice. Mariah standing there, arms folded. She looks up. He didn't believe me.
Well, you were perfect.
The action is on all of you. Last bit.
Okay.
What do you do?
I am going to explain to Tony that I don't think we have a ride anymore, and ask him what happened.
Look, I'm gonna say this. All right. I went nuts. I thought he was Canadian. I'm just kidding. No, I cracked someone in the head with a flashlight.
You did what?
Annabelle pops out of like the little nook. Wait, you hit Grimes?
The dude has got to be what?
No. He
400 years old. He didn't have a chance, did he?
We didn't have a
What's wrong
chance.
with you?
He drug us back to his room and said something off.
Mariah goes,
Well,
Mom, did you shoot someone again?
I did warn you.
No. I didn't do anything this time.
I can't take you anywhere. As she goes into the back. It smells, you hear her say.
He
Annabelle
was going to
follows.
drop a paralyzing potion. Thingy.
Well, where is he now? Where is Mr. Grimwald?
He went to bed. He was tired.
Well, after a little assault, I mean, people get tired.
You hear the cops outside still talking.
I think we should lay low for a minute. You guys should probably go in the back. I got it covered out front. They believe me who I am.
I'm gonna go back.
Yep, you
I'm
do.
gonna go back around the corner. And I'll be within earshot.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are good. I'm just gonna stay open for a while and act as shopkeep. And we'll figure out what to do next. Because these cops, they got my car. And I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. Not till they find this guy that owned the car. Whoever that is.
All right, closing thoughts, because this is where we're gonna end. You guys have anything to say to each other? So it ends with. Go on.
Would you all be interested in hearing me read you some Latin later?
No, I feel like we've done that, and I read some bullets, and maybe you read some stuff, and maybe the reading out loud of this stuff is probably not helping us.
Okay.
So this will end. We'll end here with pretty much everyone out front, save for Mariah and Annabelle, and then Tony are in the back. Grimwald is in bed in the back. You guys did not turn off his alchemy, right?
Right.
So it's still going. Excuse me. Cops are out front, having temporarily impounded Nord's van. Question, where's the Buick?
It's sitting up front as well.
Buick is parked in front or around the corner or what?
It would have been in front. I don't know if Nord parked right behind me or not.
Nord
so we'll
was
say the
not
Buick's.
driving.
We'll say the Buick is a couple spaces ahead, and it's around 7 o'clock at night. You guys find yourself.
Do they tell me
between a rock
the
and a hard
alchemy?
place.
Did they tell me that the alchemy stuff is going on in the back?
They have
and if
not
so,
yet.
Okay.
I am going to, for future reference, I am going to look for a back exit.
Okay. So when we start next time, do those things, and you know, does anyone tell Nord what that there's a chemistry lab out back.
They just keep me out. Just leave me hanging. That's fair.
We probably will in the ensuing conversation.
Yeah.
All right. So what we'll say is, if you're going to tell him, then Nord, you are aware of that, and Simon, you are looking for a back door.
Because if I'm aware of volatile chemicals going on in the back room, I will definitely bid something.
All right. So where we'll end, because we need to end, is Nord, you're going to the back to check this out. Simon, you're going to the back. Everyone's going to the back but Leah. Leah's out front. And that's where we're going to start next time. At 7:00 in game and out of game. Isn't that weird?
That's the only reason you made it 7:00 in the game.
Right. That's right.
Parallel.
That's right.
Just missed each other by 41 years.
I know.
Missed
Man.
it.
Has it been 41 years?
That much.
Oh shit! Yeah, of course. Of course, it's been 41 years. Okay, so good of the game, everyone. Special thanks to the Patreon patrons: Tim Roberts, recurring star; Daniel Holker, narrative NPC. If you want to join the Patreon, go join it. Patreon.com/dreadlore. Please do. It would help us out. Media production by Couchfire Media. Music by, all lowercase letters, misterinterrupt. We go live on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. And you can find our podcast, The Red Writ, kinda everywhere. You can also search DreadLore. And it's free. Part 1 and 2 come out later this week. And After Hours, which we will do